Come and join me on the park bench today, Sunday morning in Toronto. I talk about the No Kings Woke-Tard rally, and I talk again about the Toronto Police Service, the TPS, and the exorbitant amount of money that they cost us by policing these rallies. And I talk about Triple G, Gun Grab Gary, the public safety minister, as I affectionately like to call him, Brown Spanky, and how all this No Kings tyrannical guise falls in to what's actually happening in Canada with the liberals, the liberal communists, and the liberal left. That's who is the real communist in this country. That is who the real tyrannical dictatorship is in this country. Not the Donald Trumps, not the Pierre Poilievres. Okay? Stick around if you want to watch this. Yesterday was the No Kings rally. I would imagine that it was worldwide, but they made a big deal of it, especially in North America. Now, the No Kings rally to me is no different than a pro-Palestinian rally, a Black Lives Matter rally, an LGBTQ parade, a dyke hike, any other leftist woke-tard movement can be encapsulated in the No Kings movement. Now, basically, it is predominantly a North American movement, like I said, that targets Donald Trump and the Donald Trump administration and what they believe is a tyrannical way of thinking. Donald Trump's way of thinking is he is the king. Now, if indeed Donald Trump was a king, you wouldn't be allowed to congregate, number one. Number two, I'm going to be a little edgy in this video this morning. It's Sunday morning in Toronto. It's about 8 a.m. And Sunday mornings, when I do my hike Sunday morning, I'm always on an extra level of guard, because the weirdos come out Sunday morning. Put it in the comment section if you notice that, if you live in any major cities in North America. For whatever reason, I haven't encountered anything quite yet, but the morning is young. So you're seeing a bunch of video being released in Toronto. You're seeing video being released in all the major cities in the United States, and it's the usual suspects. It is the white liberal Karen, mostly out of shape, mostly middle-aged and older, and predominantly, or I would say 100% uninformed and unequipped to answer questions about the No Kings movement. It's ridiculous when people like citizen journalists go out, not so dissimilar to me, and they ask these people questions. They're all carrying signs that more or less are slandering Donald Trump, and they ask him questions like, what does the No King movement mean to you? And the first thing they say is, well, Donald Trump is a rapist, he's a racist, and he's Islamophobic, he's misogynistic. That's all they ever say. So if you try to have critical dialogue with these people that are all, like I said, holding signs, and some of the signs, you can barely read what they say. They don't even know what they say, and I think a lot of the signs actually are given to them pre-made, because a lot of them are paid to be there. They are on the paid protester circuit. So in Toronto yesterday, I believe it was down on University Avenue. I didn't go down to it. I'm staying away from those type events for the foreseeable future. I'm not really finding them value added. I know people in my videos like, some people like seeing the footage of that, but this movement is complete nonsensical, especially in Canada, seeing that we are a monarch. Canada is run by, or is overseen by, a monarch, which is King Charles III. So now King Charles is on our money. He's on coins, and he's slated to go on bill money, I believe, in 2027. So this just compounds the fact that the people that go to these movements are completely delusional. So that's what it would appear from the onset. Now, what it really is, you have a lot of people that want to be part of a group, a lot of lonely people, a lot of people that deem themselves a fringe minority group. And the women's movement and the feminist movement is a key contributor to these gatherings. It's women getting together, whether they want to discuss, what they read in their book clubs, what puzzles they're putting together in puzzle club, what's their favorite dog rescue shelter, and what kind of peanut butter does your rescue dog prefer. So I understand the mindset of getting together. A lot of people do it, obviously, right? Everyone wants to be part of a group. You got 1% MCs, you have riding clubs, you have car clubs, you have dart leagues, you have euchre leagues. The list goes on and on and on, where people congregate, and they like being around larger groups of people, and that's fine. That is human nature, and that is good for the human psyche. It is not good to be an isolationist. It's not good to remain by yourself all the time. It's not good for the mental health. But when these people congregate for specifically the No Kings type demonstration, they're just spouting the same rhetoric that they do at the pro-Palestinian protests. They do it at when they're countering the pro-regime change for the Iranians. It's all the same people, because I've been to them. I see the same people in Toronto, and they're militant leftist communists. And I've said this in many of my videos that these movements are just a loose veil to usher in communism. That's all it is. And the older white liberal Karens, they're just taking it like a book club, like a puzzle club, what kind of Chablis did you drink this weekend sort of club. And the ones that are organizing these old ladies to show up, they are the communists. They are the Marxists, the socialists. Like I said, I clump them all together because it's a hybrid form of tyrannical dictatorship that they want brought in. Now, put in the comment section if you noticed in your city or your town that you had a No Kings rally, and the type of people that show up at these rallies. And like I said, it's mostly white liberal Karens. And my thoughts on white liberal Karens is at an all-time low. They are very, very harmful, very detrimental as a group and individually to the way we operate within North America. They are not making sound choices for the rest of us. In fact, they are putting the rest of us in danger, because these white liberal Karens attain all sorts of levels throughout politics and throughout the judicial system. They become lawyers, they become police, they become judges, and like I said, politicians. So they have a lot of power, and this warped ideological viewpoints that they carry is putting us in danger, i.e. Loose immigration, unvetted immigration, unsustainable immigration, soft on crime penalties for repeat violent offenders. I've said it many times. Now, this is going to tie in to Gun Grab Gary, or as I affectionately like calling him, Brown Spanky. Now, that's Gary and DeSandra. Now, Brown Spanky, or Gun Grab Gary, Triple G, he is Minister of Public Safety. Now, he was bestowed the responsibility to, I guess, resume the confiscation of all the different variants of guns that the Liberals deemed no longer legal. Thus far has been an unmitigated disaster. Now, a lot of people that are legal, vetted, responsible gun owners know the real reason why the federal government is going after their guns. And I'm going to go over a couple very old historical similarities from centuries ago. And it wasn't the confiscation of firearms, it was the confiscation of swords. Swords, like medieval time swords and Japanese type swords. And the same rules, or the same underlying message applies today with the gun grab. And I'll put some examples. I'm not going to read it. I'll put some examples up on the screen. You can pause it. You can read it at your own leisure. But basically, it is to have differing social hierarchies, different financial hierarchies, and basically what people in the know like myself, it is to keep the distinction between the leading or the political elite class and people like us that are everyday citizens. They want that distinction, and if we are armed, we have the ability to take that distinction away. Now, you can look at statistics, which I've done not recently, and you can see how many legal firearms are used in the commission of crimes in this country. It's minuscule. The crimes, like I've said over and over and over again, are committed by mostly people that would identify as being in the country for short periods of time. They have come from other countries, 168 different countries, 450 different ethnic backgrounds. Hey, do white guys like me go around shooting up things? Yes, we do. Very rare. And you know, you can say, well, Dewey, that's very racist. No, that's not racist. That's just being. I'm just talking sense. I'm just being a person that is on the street and has been on the street my whole life, and I know what goes on. I know personally the percentage of people that are pulling the trigger and doing other sorts of crimes. Morning. See any coyotes?
They always here.
Yeah.
There's a whole bunch of them.
Yeah, they're everywhere.
Yeah.
They're like more than raccoons, I think, now.
Oh, they're probably coming soon.
Yeah. See ya.
Right.
Just got interrupted there. A guy just walked by. The gun grab isn't for the safety of the people. Now, the communists are the ones that are in favor of the gun grab, because they think if there is an unarmed population, they will be able to keep on doing what they're doing. Mandate more COVID shots. Instead of 4 people or 5 people at a gathering, you're going to be allowed 2 people at a gathering. That's the mindset of these people. I've witnessed it. I've been immersed in it, and you can't reason with these people, and all they want is more and more power, because they are people that, without the backing of the government, have no power. They can't make their own power. They're defenseless people. They're defenseless physically and mentally. So they rely on loopholes. They rely on other people to do their bidding, to do their dirty work. And that's why all levels of the police, to a very high degree, of course they keep peace within society to a very high degree. I understand that. But the politicians, like I've been saying in my videos, they are building up layers and layers and layers of security, because they are taking away more and more of our rights, and they are taking away more and more of our money, so which makes us more desperate for survival. It makes it harder for us to survive. So they know they're doing that, and they know that they have to kind of subtly increase the level of militarized police within North America. They know they have to increase their level of security. They have to make it look like they're at risk. That way they can justify putting more police on their security detail, putting more police in certain areas. Like, don't get me wrong, the TTC, they're proposing putting 2 police at every subway station. That's a good idea. The cops walking around with the long guns coming up. That is just to condition us to see militarized police on the streets. So this is all planned out in increments to get us more desensitized to the fact that we are in a prison police state. Also, like I said in my video before, the police want to go home to their families, and I understand that. And they will do anything in their power to do that, and that's just human nature. Now, if it came down to protecting one of their own or protecting me, they're going to let me go. And that's the way it is. You see, when a police officer loses his life in the line of duty, he or she, you see the big funerals, you see the big parades, you see the pomp and circumstance that's involved with a police person losing their life in the line of duty. You see this; it's all over the news. The funeral's televised. And to be honest with you, I'm not a big fan of the police. I am not. But I don't like to see the police getting killed either. I don't. And when I see these funerals on TV, and it's very rare in Canada, but it does happen. What do we got coming here? That was a cop, a district chief. So, don't get me wrong. I don't like I don't like seeing police fall in the line of duty. That's not my bag. But the reason that they do that is to make it appear that the police have a much more important role in society than the average person. That's why they, in the military, they bestow the Victoria Cross, the Medal of Honor, and other awards for gallantry throughout the world, because it puts in the psyche of the person that what I'm doing is a noble thing, number one, and what I'm doing, if something ever happens to me, I won't be forgotten. Now, couple that with police, I'm not going to mention the military again, but couple that with the amount of perks that the police get. They get really very good salary, they get very good benefits, they get very good overtime pay, and they get to carry various different guns, which is a big bonus in today's society, to be able to carry a handgun. Okay, I'm probably going to stress in a lot of my videos coming up the importance of the way they are protected, which is the police and politicians, to as the way we are unprotected. Pepper spray. That's the length, and that's not even passed through yet. So it's illegal to carry pepper spray currently. Anyhow, I wanted to touch today on the gun grab. I want to touch today on the two sets of rules for the ruling class and rules for everyone else. And the way the Liberals have gone on a very expedited pace to take away our rights and to put us in harm's way, it's making it harder and harder every day to navigate these streets safely. If you talk, and this is for people that know police, and a lot of people that watch my channel do know a lot of police. I personally don't know any police personally, and I probably never will. But I have talked to certain police very briefly in my travels, and I've come across a couple. They seem like decent people, but you can tell they are on edge. You can tell that obviously they know the inner workings of society better than the average person, and they know this is Rockcliffe Boulevard. Warner's right there. Sunday morning, you get a car, you get a black car or a black SUV, all blacked out with tinted windows, and you got loud music pumping from it. I'm going to guarantee you that the cops that patrol this area, which is 12th Division, they're not going to pull that car over. I'm going to tell you, they're going to wait till some old lady rolls through a stop sign. They're going to pull her over, because the likelihood of having a problem with the old white lady rolling a stop sign is far less than pulling over 4 gangbangers in a tinted out stolen car. I'm not saying they don't do it, they do. But a lot of times the cops look the other way because they don't want to put themselves in harm's way, and they know they are outnumbered on the street. Just say there's 12 cops patrolling 12th Division right now. Just say, I don't know how many, I really don't. But just say there's 12 scout cars patrolling this area. I'll guarantee you got the Humber buildings over there. Right over there, you got the Humber buildings. Right over there, you got the Woolner buildings. Right over there, you got Black Creek and Trethewey. All known gang buildings in Toronto. So there's going to be more than 12 cars right now at 8:29 a.m. More than 12 cars in this neighborhood with gangbangers in it, all carrying handguns. Way more. Crazy, right? Believe it. We're surrounded by it. Now, a lot of people on my comment section do your fear mongering. Do you check under your bed at night before you go to bed? And my answer to that is you don't. No, I don't check under my bed. My home is secure. I don't have to worry about my home. I really don't. But it's not something that I take for granted. It's something that I prepared and something that I've made a safe place. Now, you don't see a lot of people walking around in Toronto on Sunday mornings because they know it's inherently dangerous. For a woman to walk through this park right now, which used to be part of the Toronto Beltline Railway back in the early 1900s. I'll show you a picture on the way out of here of this pathway. It used to be a rail line, believe it or not. A train used to come through here. You're not going to see too many women walking through here right now, and because they know it's dangerous. Now, I do it because I always get out. I can't stay in the house on a weekend for sure, and I got to get my physical activity in, and I'm not afraid to walk. Well, I'm not afraid to walk anywhere in the city. Do I know certain parts of the city are more dangerous than others? Absolutely I do. Would I want to walk through the hallways of Humber Boulevard right now? Not particularly, no, because I'm not equipped to do that. Because if I walk into one of the lobbies of those buildings, there's going to be 8 gangbangers there with all handguns. I'd be outgunned. I'd have no gun. So it doesn't make sense, right? And the police, like I said, they want to punch their card, and they want to punch their card on the way out. And they got to do that for at least 25 years. And their whole goal is to make retirement so they can inherit that fat pension that they've accumulated. So made this video longer than I wanted to make it. But anyhow, yeah, the No Kings rally. In closing, the No Kings rally, just a bunch of white liberal Karens that have nothing better to do, and they don't even know half, or I would say 95% of them don't even know why the fuck they're even there. The other 5% are the communist handlers of the rest of them, and it's embarrassing. It's a waste of police resources. You got to, okay, let me just touch back on the police there quick. You got to figure in, a lot of senior police get the overtime for these assignments, right? Sergeants, I pointed that out in one of my videos, or 2 or 3 or 4, and they make over $100 an hour overtime pay, right? Over $100 an hour, some up to $150 an hour. So if you're working an 8-hour shift, just say you clock in for 10 hours, that's minimum $1,000 minimum before taxes. Government's got to get their huge cut of that. Huge cut. But just say you're making one cop is $1,000 to be down to watch a bunch of, and the mounted unit was down there again yesterday, 8 horses, 8 Clydesdales, to watch a bunch of screaming liberal Karens that don't know what the fuck their sign says. They don't even know what they're fucking talking about. And you have, just say you have 200 cops. Just say, and it's probably more than that. I've seen more than 200 cops at some of the Canada First rallies and the pro-regime Iranian rallies. I've seen more than 200 cops at $1,000 a pop. That's 200 grand. 200 grand on one Saturday, one Sunday, one whatever. Now you can see why, and it's going to be more and more and more, because they just want to pump more police, more and more government jobs, more and more police, more and more civil servants with handguns and Colt C8 semi-automatic 5.56 assault rifles. They want everyone to have them, so the politicians can come in and do what they want with impunity. They can do what they want, because everywhere you look, you either got a cop with a gun or you got a gangbanger with a gun. And Dougie Ford wants us to have pepper spray. In closing, again, give your head a shake about this No Kings bullshit, especially in Canada, okay? Oh, and Mayor Chow is on this campaign for no ICE agents during FIFA. Mayor Chow, don't worry, you're not going to get deported. You have a bunker spot. You're taken care of. The Chinese Communist Party who installed you are going to look after you. Don't worry. ICE isn't coming to get you, okay? Mayor Chow, stop with the ICE propaganda bullshit. Talking about people on the right fear-mongering. Anyhow, thanks for watching. Bye.